let me ask you something. What's the point of ambition if your body can't keep up? What's the use of chasing your goals, your vision, your family's future if your heart gives up halfway through the journey? See, high cholesterol doesn't care about your bank account. It doesn't care how hard you grind. It's silent. It builds slowly, day after meal after meal, and then boom, heart attack, stroke, gone too soon. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be this way. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be intentional. And today, I'm going to give you 5 powerful, natural methods to lower your cholesterol. Methods backed by science. Methods you can start using right now. Not next year. Not when your doctor gives you a warning. Right now. Because your energy, your future, your mission, all of it starts with your health. Let's get into it. Let me tell you something most people never hear from their doctors. Your health is in your hands more than you think. When it comes to cholesterol, a lot of people think it's just a number on a lab test. They get the results. Maybe it's a little high. Maybe the doctor says, hey, we'll keep an eye on it. And then what? Nothing changes. Life goes on. Same food, same stress, same sleep, same routines. And the number creeps higher and higher until one day it's not just a number anymore. It's chest pain. It's shortness of breath. It's a heart attack at 48 that no one saw coming. But the truth is that moment didn't just happen. It was built through tiny daily choices you and I make every single day, often without even realizing the cost. The good news, that means the solution is also built one decision at a time. That's not hype. That's science. That's biology. Your body isn't static. It's adaptable. It responds to what you give it. And the data shows again and again that when you change the inputs, the outputs change. That means your cholesterol isn't just a curse or a fate or some genetic doom. It's a reflection of how you live. And that means you have power. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because the moment you realize your health is in your hands, you also realize your inaction has a price. You realize that skipping the walk, crushing the fast food, binging on sugar-laced drinks, sleeping 4 hours a night, numbing yourself with screens at midnight, that's the recipe. That's how you build sickness. Quiet slowly, predictably. Now, some people hear that and get discouraged, but I hope you don't. Because what that actually means is you're not powerless. Think about that. You are not powerless. You can stop this. You can reverse this. You can rebuild yourself from the inside out. Not overnight, not with a magic pill, but with real decisions that drive real outcomes. If you take this seriously, if you even give it 60 days of focused effort, your biology will reward you. You want proof. Look at the research. People who change their diets, move their bodies, improve their sleep, cut out toxic inputs. They change their blood chemistry. LDL goes down, HDL goes up, triglycerides fall, inflammation markers drop. You get sharper, leaner, stronger, more focused. That's not hope. That's measurable change. Your body literally regenerates when you support it, and it doesn't take perfection. That's the trap most people fall into. Well, I already messed up today, might as well blow the whole week. Or I've got bad genes, it won't matter. But that's wrong because your body doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency. Small, intentional actions repeated over time. A handful of almonds instead of a donut. Water instead of soda. 10 minutes of movement instead of another hour on the couch. These things add up fast. Here's the part nobody wants to admit. Most of us are more disciplined than we think. We just apply that discipline to the wrong things. We'll binge, watch a whole show, scroll endlessly for hours. Eat for entertainment, stay up late doing nothing helpful. That's discipline too, but it's discipline without direction. What happens when you take that same energy, that same ability to lock in and aim it toward your health, toward living longer, thinking clearer, moving better? You start compounding wins. You start waking up with energy. Your mind clears. Your blood sugar evens out. You stop chasing caffeine. You stop reacting to life and start building it. And when you start building it, you don't just feel better physically. You start thinking differently. You make sharper choices in business. You're more present with your family. You become a better leader, a better parent, a better human, because your body and brain are no longer in survival mode. they're in performance mode. Let's talk about something simple, something so basic, most people overlook it. Not because it doesn't work, but because it's not exciting enough to sell. It doesn't come in a fancy package. It doesn't promise overnight results, but it works over and over again. I'm talking about fiber, not the kind of fiber you see advertised on cereal boxes with cartoon characters. I'm talking about soluble fiber, a compound found in real, whole foods that can literally pull cholesterol out of your body. That's not an exaggeration. That's a biological mechanism. See, when you eat foods rich in soluble fiber, foods like oats, beans, lentils, flax seeds, apples, citrus fruits, something powerful happens. That fiber doesn't just pass through your gut. It binds with bile acids in your digestive system. And bile acids are made from cholesterol. So when fiber binds with them, it pulls them out of your system through waste. The result? Your liver pulls more cholesterol out of your blood to make more bile. And just like that, LDL, the bad cholesterol, drops naturally. No pills, no gimmicks, just your biology doing what it was designed to do as long as you give it the right input. Now, here's what's crazy. Most people are nowhere close to getting enough fiber. The average intake is around 10 to 15 grams per day. The recommended minimum, 25 to 30 grams minimum. That gap alone is a missed opportunity to improve health on a massive scale. And this isn't just about heart health. Soluble fiber helps with blood sugar regulation. It improves gut microbiota. It helps manage appetite. It even supports brain function by reducing systemic inflammation. One nutrient, multiple systems, powerful synergy. But why don't people get more of it? Because processed food has stripped it out. White bread, refined cereal, sugary snacks, fast food. These things are engineered for flavor and addiction, not for nutrition. And fiber doesn't make the cut. You're not going to find it in a drive-through combo meal, but you will find it in a bowl of steel-cut oats, in a handful of chia seeds, in a lentil soup, in a smoothie with flaxseed and blueberries. The key is not to make this complicated. You don't need a PhD in nutrition. You need awareness. Swap white rice for brown rice or quinoa. Add beans to your salad. Throw a tablespoon of flaxseed in your shake. Snack on carrots or apples instead of crackers. Do that consistently and your cholesterol levels will respond. But this goes deeper than numbers on a lab report. This is about giving your body the tools to heal itself. This is about reducing your risk of heart disease without waiting for a wake-up call. It's about giving yourself more energy, more clarity, more longevity. When you fuel your system with what it's made for, everything starts working better. I've seen people make this shift, just increasing fiber, nothing else. And within weeks, they feel the difference. They're less bloated. They have more stable energy. Their cravings drop. Their digestion improves. And yes, their LDL numbers go down. That's not a miracle. That's physiology. Your body is not broken. It's not working against you. It's trying to protect you every day. The problem is we often fight against it without realizing it. And sometimes the solution is hiding in plain sight. Soluble fiber is one of those solutions. It's not flashy. It won't trend on social media, but it works. It works because it respects the natural systems your body already has in place. Systems that are designed to detox, to regulate, to protect. And here's the thing, once you start eating more real food rich in fiber, you also start displacing the garbage. The processed snacks lose their appeal. Your blood sugar stops crashing. You stop reaching for the quick fixes. And then you realize something, it was never about willpower. It was about fuel. Most people think of exercise as something you do to lose weight, to get abs, or to fit into a certain pair of jeans. But that's such a small part of the story. The truth is, movement is medicine. It's one of the most powerful tools. You have to change your internal chemistry to influence how your brain works, how your heart functions, how your blood flows, how you age, and especially how your cholesterol behaves. You don't need a gym membership to unlock that power. You don't need fancy shoes or a fitness tracker or some 90-day plan with before and after pictures. What you need is motion, consistent intentional movement, because the body is not designed to be still. Stillness is decay. Stillness is dysfunction. Stillness is the breeding ground for everything we try to avoid: stiffness, fatigue, anxiety, poor sleep, and yes, high cholesterol. See, when you move, when you walk, lift, sprint, or stretch, your body starts recalibrating, your heart rate increases, your blood vessels dilate, and most importantly, your cells start communicating better. Hormones, enzymes, neurotransmitters, everything comes online. Physical movement activates your muscles, and those muscles aren't just for strength. They're metabolic organs. They pull sugar from the blood. They burn fat. They regulate insulin. They influence lipid levels. And here's what's crucial: exercise doesn't just lower the bad cholesterol. It actually increases the good, HDL cholesterol. Think of HDL as your body's cleanup crew. It moves through the bloodstream, grabbing excess cholesterol and escorting it back to the liver where it can be broken down. The more active you are, the more efficient that system becomes. That's why people who exercise regularly don't just look better, they function better. You're not just training muscles. You're training your chemistry. You're telling your body, stay sharp, stay resilient, stay ready. But let's get specific, because this isn't about punishing yourself with endless cardio. Studies show that even 30 minutes of moderate exercise 5 days a week can dramatically reduce LDL and increase HDL. That could be a brisk walk. That could be body weight circuits. That could be dancing. It doesn't have to be intense to be effective. It has to be consistent. Now, some people get stuck here. They say, I don't have time. And what they're really saying is, I don't realize the cost of not doing it, because the time will pass either way. And you can either use that time to build strength, mobility, heart function, and clarity, or you can use it sitting, scrolling, waiting for the body to break down, for the health scare, for the regret. But here's what's beautiful: the body responds fast, especially if you've been sedentary for a while. That first week you start moving again, you'll notice it. Maybe not in the mirror, but in your energy, your sleep, your hunger signals, your mood, your sense of momentum. Movement gives you that momentum. It reconnects you to your biology. It wakes up your nervous system. It clears your mind. You become a different version of yourself when you move with purpose. More stable, more focused, more alert, more present. And it doesn't stop with cholesterol. When you move consistently, you reduce inflammation. You increase nitric oxide production, which improves circulation. You sharpen insulin sensitivity. You elevate your BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which literally helps your brain grow and repair itself. That's what movement does. It creates a biological upgrade across every system in your body. And if you think about it, movement is the most accessible medicine there is. You don't need a prescription. You don't need permission. You just need to start. Start small. 5 minutes today, 10 minutes tomorrow. Build from there. This isn't about intensity. It's about identity. Who do you want to be? The person who drifts through life tired, sluggish, reactive, or the person who shows up daily for themselves, for their future, for their mission? Because when you move your body, you're not just checking a box. You're sending a signal. You're telling your body, your brain, your heart, we're not done yet. We're building something. We're here to last. And that signal, it changes everything. There's a dangerous lie that's been repeated for decades that all fat is bad. That fat is the enemy. That if you want to be healthy, if you want to lower your cholesterol, you need to go low fat, no fat, fat-free, everything. But let's stop for a second and think, does that really make sense? Because despite all the low fat products, the fat-free trends, the margarine replacing butter, heart disease never stopped. In fact, it got worse. So clearly, it's not just about fat. It's about the type of fat. Your body is made to use fat. Your brain is nearly 60% fat. Your cells are surrounded by fatty membranes. Hormones are created using fat. Your body doesn't just tolerate healthy fats, it requires them to function. And when you give it the right kind of fat, your system responds immediately. Let's get into it. Omega-3 fatty acids, these are not optional. They're essential. They reduce inflammation, improve vascular function, and lower triglycerides, which is a critical part of managing cholesterol. They're found in wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts. When you consume these, you're feeding your body with the raw materials to repair and protect itself. Now, here's something most people don't know. Omega-3s don't just reduce cholesterol numbers on paper. They actually help your arteries stay flexible and smooth, which reduces the risk of plaque buildup. That means your heart doesn't have to work as hard. Your blood flows more freely. Your risk of clotting drops. This is not small. This is life altering. And yet, while we're ignoring these healthy fats, many people are unknowingly consuming the kind of fats that do real damage. I'm talking about industrial seed oils, corn oil, soybean oil, canola oil, refined oils found in packaged snacks, fast food, fried food, processed dressings. These oils are highly inflammatory. They oxidize easily, and when they enter your body, they don't support your cells. They harm them. This kind of fat promotes the very thing we're trying to avoid: oxidized LDL cholesterol, the type that sticks to artery walls and triggers inflammation. And the inflammation itself creates even more cholesterol as the body tries to patch over the damage. It's a vicious cycle. Now, if you're eating a standard processed diet, you're probably getting way more omega-6 fats, those inflammatory oils, and not nearly enough omega-3s. The healthy balance is about 1E1 or 2A1. But in reality, most people are eating a ratio of 15W1 or even 20Z1. That imbalance is driving chronic disease, fatigue, brain fog, and accelerated aging. So the shift isn't about cutting fat, it's about swapping fat. Avocados instead of margarine, olive oil instead of vegetable oil, wild-caught salmon instead of deep-fried fish sticks, walnuts instead of chips. These changes seem small, but they have massive impact over time. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When you eat the right fats, your body becomes more efficient at burning fat. Your metabolism stabilizes. Your insulin sensitivity improves. You don't just reduce cholesterol, you train your body to use fat as fuel. That's a metabolic advantage. Think about how powerful that is. You go from storing fat to burning it. From sluggishness to clarity, from inflammation to regeneration. You're not fighting your biology, you're finally working with it. But here's the problem. Most people have been conditioned to fear fat for so long, they don't even realize they're operating from misinformation. They see an egg yolk and think, oh no, cholesterol. They see salmon and think, too fatty. But science has moved forward. It's time our habits catch up. The real risk isn't in healthy fat. It's in continuing to eat a diet loaded with ultra-processed foods, fake ingredients, and inflammatory oils that disrupt every system in the body. You're not just what you eat. You're what your body does with what you eat. And healthy fats, they give your body the ability to repair, stabilize, and protect. There's a silent enemy that affects more people than high-fat foods ever will. It's not loud. It doesn't grab headlines like cholesterol or blood pressure. But it's everywhere, hidden in plain sight. And it's wrecking your health without you even realizing it. I'm talking about sugar. We've been told for years to watch our fat intake. Avoid red meat. Be careful with eggs. But meanwhile, sugar's been flooding our food system, sneaking into everything. Bread, sauces, snacks, drinks, even things labeled healthy. And the science is clear now. Excess sugar isn't just making us overweight. It's destroying our heart health, 1 teaspoon at a time. Let's break it down. When you consume sugar, especially the refined kind, white sugar, high fructose corn syrup, added syrups, your body goes into overdrive. Your pancreas releases insulin to shuttle that sugar out of your bloodstream. And if it happens occasionally, the body handles it. But when it happens all day long, with every meal, every snack, every energy drink, your system gets overwhelmed. Insulin levels stay elevated. Your cells start resisting it. And now your blood sugar and triglycerides rise. And here's where it connects to cholesterol, because high blood sugar leads to inflammation. And inflammation triggers the liver to pump out more cholesterol to protect your arteries. Your body doesn't just randomly create cholesterol. It responds to a threat. Sugar is that threat. It's not just about the donuts or candy. It's the hidden sugar in your cereal, your salad dressing, your protein bars, your low-fat yogurt. It's the orange juice you think is healthy, the granola marketed as clean. Sugar hides behind labels like dextrose, maltose, cane juice, fructose, and you barely notice it. But your body does. And the craziest part, most people struggling with high cholesterol aren't eating slabs of butter all day. They're eating toast for breakfast, a light sandwich for lunch, a handful of snacks at work, maybe a soda or two to stay energized. But that pattern, those constant spikes in glucose, that is what's driving cholesterol up, not fat. Sugar, What makes sugar even more dangerous is how it trains your brain. It's addictive. It triggers dopamine, the same pathway activated by drugs. So now, every time you're tired, bored, anxious, or emotionally off, your brain craves a quick hit. You start reaching for something sweet without even thinking. And every time you do, you deepen the loop. It becomes a habit. Then it becomes your biology. But here's the truth: you can break it. Your taste buds can reset, your blood sugar can stabilize, your cravings can fade, your energy can become steady. You just have to create space. That starts with awareness. Read the labels, watch the patterns, and start removing the sugar, not by going to zero all at once, but by gradually replacing it with foods that nourish you instead of hijacking your system. You replace the soda with sparkling water and lemon, the sugar-packed cereal with steel, cut oats and berries, the midday candy bar with almonds or hard-boiled eggs. You find the natural sweetness in whole fruits, not processed junk. And over time, something shifts, not just in your body, but in your brain. You don't want the sugar anymore. You feel better without it. Your energy lasts. Your mood levels out. Your cholesterol drops naturally. What happens next is something most people never expect. Mental clarity returns. Inflammation goes down. Joint pain disappears. Sleep improves. Your skin even looks healthier. Because sugar doesn't just raise cholesterol, it corrupts the entire system. And removing it allows your body to do what it's built to do: they heal. None of this is about being perfect. It's not about never having a treat again. It's about regaining control, taking responsibility for the fuel you give yourself, recognizing that your food choices are a message to your biology. You're either signaling repair or you're signaling damage. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly respected your sleep? Not just went to bed because you were tired, but actually protected it like your life depended on it, because it does. We talk about diet, we talk about exercise, we talk about supplements, hydration, mindset, all important. But sleep, that's the foundation. That's the control room of your entire system. And if you're not sleeping deeply and consistently, everything else you're doing is working against a current, including your fight to lower cholesterol. Most people don't connect the dots between poor sleep and heart health, but the science is clear. When you sleep, your body doesn't shut off. It switches into repair mode. Your heart rate lowers. Your blood pressure stabilizes. Your stress hormones drop. Your body starts clearing out waste, balancing blood sugar, recalibrating hormones. That's the window where recovery happens. That's the moment where healing begins. And when that window is cut short by scrolling on your phone, watching late night TV, or just staying up doing nothing, your body pays for it. Now, here's what most people don't realize. Poor sleep raises cortisol levels. And cortisol isn't just a stress hormone, it's a metabolic disruptor. It signals the body to hold on to fat, raise blood pressure, spike blood sugar, and yes, increase cholesterol. Your body goes into defense mode. It thinks there's a threat, and the more nights you miss, the more that threat state becomes your baseline. You might be doing everything right during the day, eating clean, exercising, taking the right steps. But if you're sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night, your body never gets the chance to finish what it started. It's like working out hard in the gym and never letting your muscles recover. You end up stuck, inflamed, frustrated, tired, foggy, sluggish, and you don't even know why. This is where people fall into the trap. They say, I'll sleep when I'm dead. They grind late into the night thinking they're being productive, not realizing they're slowly burning out the most important system. They have the nervous system. You can't supplement bad sleep. You can't outwork it. You can't push through it forever. Eventually, your body will force you to slow down. You'll get sick more often. You'll have less resilience. You'll lose sharpness. And one day, you'll sit in a doctor's office and hear numbers you don't like. High blood pressure, high LDL, high triglycerides, all because the system that was designed to restore balance never got the time it needed. But there's a flip side to this, and it's powerful. When you start prioritizing sleep, everything else begins to work better. You wake up with energy. You crave cleaner food. You move more effortlessly. You feel less reactive. Your insulin sensitivity improves. Your hunger hormones stabilize. Your heart rate variability increases. And that inflammation that was quietly building in the background, it starts to disappear. Even 1 week of quality sleep, 7 to 9 hours, deeply, consistently can change the way your body metabolizes fat. It can reduce systemic inflammation. It can improve your lipid profile. Your HDL goes up. Your LDL and triglycerides start to normalize. Not because of some new drug, but because you finally let your biology do what it was designed to do. So the question becomes, how do you protect it? You start simple. No screens 60 minutes before bed. Cool the room. Keep it dark, really dark. No lights, no glowing clocks, no open notifications lighting up your nightstand. Set a consistent bedtime, even on weekends. Anchor your wake-up time. Let your body settle into a rhythm, because the more predictable your sleep routine is, the deeper your recovery will be. If you train your body to expect rest, it will reward you with restoration. It's not just about getting in bed earlier. It's about reclaiming your recovery, making your sleep space sacred, making the decision to stop treating sleep like an afterthought and start treating it like strategy, because that's what it is. And if you want to lower your cholesterol, improve your heart, clear your mind, and extend your lifespan, don't just focus on what you do while you're awake. Start mastering what happens when you're not, because the strongest, sharpest, healthiest version of you is built while you sleep.